Soulmate, come get me. Thanks. Hey everyone, it's your girl TC and I want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another segment of the Confessions of Hair Chronicles, and the guest for today, wait, hold on, I would like to apologize because I feel like we've been on a hiatus. Yes, I took the summer off, and no, it wasn't on purpose, but you know, we back. It's the fall, the summer is done, all of the fun and me being outside is laid to rest for now, so I feel like we're back in action. And today's guest, someone who I personally love and adore with literally everything in me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna give this to you because today I am actually being interviewed. I am the guest of today's show. Yes, y'all heard me right. I am today's guest, and I felt like it was, well, actually I didn't feel, a lot of my friends felt like it was time for me to be behind the camera, and I totally agreed. Because when I first started back my YouTube, you know, I came back with the story of, you know, my hiatus of my YouTube and why I took 2 to 3 years off. But now I feel like I want to get more behind the camera just so I can give you guys more of who I am, my personality, and things that I love and adore. So I, your girl TC, Tamika, whatever you know me as, is today's guest. And I have my lovely videographer, Kevich, doing my interview. So the way I did this was, usually when I have a guest on my show, I come up with topics that's related to their profession and their life, and I, you know, get into it. I'm finally behind the camera. Well, I've always been around behind the camera, but I feel like it's time to give you guys more of who I am.
So TC, it's been a while since we linked. I think the last time we saw each other was your photo shoot we did.
Yeah.
And how's everything been since?
How's everything been since? I felt like everything's been good. I had a great summer, honestly. I traveled a bit. I went to Houston. I went to Phoenix. I was at my cousin's wedding. Okay. So, you know, I did a couple of things. And, yeah, it was good.
So
the photo shoot, hold on, sorry. The photo shoot actually was really good. I loved it. I really did love it. Yeah.
Dope. I like that.
One thing that's new is I'm a dog mom now. Right, Beanie? Come here. I have a dog named Phoenix, and he's a toy poodle. So I'm now part of the Dog Moms Club. He's so precious. Hi, Baba. So yeah, that's one of the big things that changed about me, because I was having baby fever. So I'm like, girl, you can't have a baby. Get a dog. And this is like my, oh, hi, boo-boo. A poodle is a dog that I've wanted since like my childhood. Like, this is like my dream dog. So I feel like this is like a part of me healing my inner child, is getting my breed of dog that I've always wanted. Right, Papa? He's a baby, so he's still teething, so he loves to like bite and knit at everything. Right, Booby? Yeah. Aww. So, guys, this is Phoenix. You want to say hi to the camera? Say hi, Papa. Say hi. Say hi. Aww. Okay. Let's see if you're going to let Mama finish the interview.
So I'm going to get right into it. You went to a wedding, but you're single. How are you navigating single life?
Wow. How am I navigating single life? You know, it's... Okay, let me really think about this, because this is a great question, actually. When I first became single, it was really hard, because I feel like I was in a relationship for so long, and I just had this routine, and I had a person, you know, and I feel like when that is stripped of you, or when you choose to walk away from something, it was very hard in the beginning. I still have my days now, but the way I'm navigating it is, I'm pouring more into myself. I'm doing more things that make me happy. I decided to go on this healing journey where I'm trying to make my inner child and my inner teenager happy, and that's been going well. I've been reading more, and I've also been dating, not gonna lie.
Okay, dating.
Yeah.
How's that been going? Cause they saying in New York the dating pool is filled with piss.
I've seen that. They say actually New York City is one of the worst places to date. How's that going? I feel like it's going half and half. I feel like, I'm dating someone who I'm really into, and I feel like there is some moments where, I'm dating others who I feel like just ain't really go too well. But I feel like that's a part of the journey, So overall, I feel like I'm doing great. It's been okay. And yeah, it's been okay. I feel like I do get lonely sometimes, and I feel like I do miss having someone 24/7, my person. But I feel like, I'm doing good. And I feel like I needed this time to literally grow and heal and do, pour into myself. So that's what I'm doing. But the dating pool, it is kind of whack. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, this shit is not joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Nah. Overall, let me get serious. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm dating and I'm navigating dating, and I'm just, mind you, when I was dating, I was like 2014. That was a long time ago.
11 years.
Fast forward to 2015 now, where I'm like dating, and I'm like, oh shit, it's not the same. Like, people want things super fast. Like, they want to see you super fast. They want to go on dates super fast. And I'm still in the realm of like wanting to get to know someone, like wanting to be on the phone, wanting to text. But I've been crippled because things are just so much more advanced in dating, and I feel like I wasn't ready.
Yeah,
but
gratification
it's instant gratification, and I'm still like on that slow and steady pace. You know what I'm saying? Because of what I've seen and experienced was like, you feel such intense emotion for someone, and 2 to 3 weeks go by and it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got people telling you their whole life story, crying on the phone, you being there for them, and you thinking like, oh yeah, we good, and then they just go ghost, or you just don't have no interest. So it's just super weird, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm not for the streets. I know that for sure. I'm not for the streets. I am definitely a relationship girly. I am such a lover girl. Like, I still believe in love. I love love. And I think that's my place. Like, I have no business being single right now. I have no business having this ring and not a wedding ring or not an engagement ring on my finger. Like, I have no business being single. Like, I really don't. I hate it here. I really hate it here. But yeah, single life is super dope though, because I'm also learning so much about myself. Like, I feel like the person I was when I first got into a relationship and the person I am now is totally two different people. So I feel like I'm learning who I am now. And I feel like that's such a blessing, because it's like I was still operating as if I was my old self. And it's like, now that I'm catching up with the person that I am now, I feel like it's just so much more beneficial, because I've grown so much, and I feel like I was still sometimes operating from my traumas, operating in toxicity, and also just being who I was before. And it's like, you're not that girl. You're not Tamika or TC from 2016. You're not even the same person you was in 2021. So it's like, getting to know this version of me has been just so liberating and so fun. It's very beneficial, and I love that part of being single. So let me not like, oh my god, I don't have nobody to hold me at night. No, I still love it. It's liberating. I love being in here and just not having to call someone and be like, hey babe, I'm doing this. Hey, oh my god, what you? I love just being free, but at the same time, I'm still a lover girl. So soulmate, come get me. Thanks.
What advice about love can you give today that you wish you knew 5 years ago, or even about life?
What is advice about love or life that you would give today that you wish you knew 5 years ago? Okay, well, let's see where I was 5 years ago. That was the pandemic. And I think I took a break from my relationship. So where I am now and today and where I was then today, funny, I was single both times. But what I would tell myself is, is it myself, or what advice I would give?
What about yourself and,
Okay.
somebody that you felt needed it, or that you saw was in your shoes?
The advice I would give is to follow your instinct. Follow your gut.
Gut never lies.
Your gut never lies. If your gut is saying that this chapter has ended, close that chapter. And I'm saying that because, like I said, during that time, took a break from our relationship, and we actually wound up like getting back together. And I think that should have just been the end, looking back, you know? So I feel like I didn't trust myself in that moment to continue being single, and I tried to make something work. But I feel like what I would say to wrap this up is to be strong enough to leave. To be strong enough to leave. And don't be afraid to leave when you know that something just isn't for you anymore.
Nice. So how would you, or how will you pour more into yourself so you don't make the same
decisions? I'm sorry.
How are you pouring more into yourself so you get the best outcome out of any future situations?
Making sure that I am fully healed. And I don't want to say fully healed because I feel like you always are a work in progress, right? But I feel like things that I was so used to and things that I know that may not fly with others, I feel like I want to really just love on myself a little bit more, because I feel like I'm confident, I love myself, but I feel like if you truly love yourself, it's certain things that you just wouldn't put up with, right? You know, so I feel like just pouring into me a little bit more so that those red flags, or even the red flags that I have within myself, my flaws, doesn't come in the way of what I'm trying to build with someone else. I feel like one of those things is I'm very controlling sometimes. I feel like because I have a lot of didactic traits, I like to take the lead. I'm very independent, and I like to call myself an alpha female. Sometimes that get in the way of letting someone love you and letting someone.
Is that a real thing? An alpha female? Is that a real thing?
Is alpha female a real thing? I think it is. I think it is, especially me with navigating a lesbian relationship. I think, you know, there's someone in that relationship who was the alpha, you know. So
more dominant. Okay.
More dominant, yeah. Alpha dominant. I feel like you're right. Okay, so when you say it like that, because a woman can't be an alpha, right? So I feel like, yeah, the more dominant one. Yeah.
Got it.
Wow, that was a little spin. Oh, also another thing that I feel like I want to do, other than pouring into myself, as far as like making sure I'm loving myself the way I should and healing from certain triggers and traumas and even like anxieties of my past. One other thing I really, really, really want to make sure I got down packed is not letting a motherfucker play with me. Hear me? Respectfully. Like that respect, no pun intended. Like having that respect for yourself, other than love, that respect for yourself would really, really, like, you don't even want to deal with certain things. You don't want to deal with getting half of someone. You don't want to deal with being put second. You don't want to deal with just things that you know just ain't for you. So I feel like just having that respect, pouring into myself, and making sure that my triggers and my flaws, you know, that I work on those things. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I know you're Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
Rude boy.
Yes. Wake up.
Has that had any bearing on, you know, how you date or just how you live? I guess, like how you live life.
Yes, it does.
Because you know, you do have full-bred Jamaican parents, so I know it's a little different in the Caribbean.
Very different. Yes, I feel like it shaped me in dating. And I'm going to say this. The next person I be with have to be Caribbean. Why
they have to be Caribbean?
They have to be Caribbean. Yes, they really do. And I'm happy you asked this question. And not that they have to, but they have to understand the culture. I feel like I have a big family on both sides. Both my mother and father have a lot of siblings, and I have a lot of cousins, and I'm very family oriented, and there's just some things in our culture that I feel like it just becomes easy if I don't have to explain every little thing, because sometimes Jamaicans, to some people that's not even Caribbean, we could come off very offensive, and I feel like if it's someone who understands and know, they wouldn't be as offended, or things wouldn't come off as offensive. And not to say like, okay, some things we should just let slide, but I feel like having someone who understands the dynamic of the Caribbean culture and who you are, not only as a Caribbean descendant, but just as a person and how your family dynamic is, I feel like it just makes dating super easy. And this is me saying this because I've dated, my last relationship and a lot of my relationships were with American women. So I just feel like I just wanted to get that out there. Like, I think whether you you could be Caribbean, you could be African, you could be whatever else. I feel like you just got to be you just have to have that.
Yeah,
that
I think it is a difference between Caribbean and American. Like, there's a lot of different cultural and how
value, just everything. Yeah. And to get to your question, growing up, luckily I was fortunate enough to grow up with both my parents. So I feel like they both instilled different values into me. Like, number one, cleaning. We had to clean every weekend. That was a non-negotiable. Cooking, I see my mom cook dinner, if not every night, for my family a lot, so I feel like that also plays a big part in like who I am and how I date, and I love to feed everybody. Another thing is just seeing like the love and also the structure. My father came from a hard-working background, so I see him like take care of the household, take care of my mom, and just really, really just had that traditional protector and provider image. And that's something that I look at, and that's something, not to say that I would want, but I would want, because it's like I could take care of myself, right? But I feel like I do want a partner who kind of doesn't take that and be like, okay, I don't got to do nothing, or okay, because you got this, or because you got it, I don't have to do certain things. And I want it to be a thing where it's like, you could kind of take some weight off, and I see my father do that, and I think that's what I would like. Even though, of course, like I said, it would be combined, but I do want someone that can protect and provide as well. So that's another thing that I've seen. Also, just my father,
but you do know we don't live in the traditional world.
And we don't live in the traditional world, especially now. But I feel like that's also a facade. Like, I feel like that's a facade. I feel like that's a concept that social media has brought upon just to kind of break those traditions away, so that I feel like it could be instilled in us like, okay, men don't need women, or women don't need men, or this is how it is because women are in different places than they was 30, 40, or even 20 years ago. They could make more money, or they could provide. But I feel like whatever your system is within your relationship or within your household, yeah, but I feel like men still should take that lead. Or if you in a lesbian relationship, or you in a man on man relationship, someone should still take that lead, but it still should be someone working together. Because even in traditional homes, you had women taking care of the home. They were raising the children, they was doing the laundry, they was making sure your clothes was ironed, while the men was going out and providing. And I feel like, even to say that, like, I feel like we only think about the men and how they provided and how they were traditionally, but we forget how women were traditionally. Like, but now it's also too is different, because women are not only staying home, women are going to work. But I see in a lot of many cases, women are still going to work, taking care of the children and doing everything that they should be doing, plus working. So I feel like it just depends on different variables, but I feel like we should still have that same structure, and whatever the woman could do more or do less, and whatever the man could do more or do less, whatever works for your home works.
Right.
But yeah.
But being with that, traditionally, like, our fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, they took more of an initiative, because there was also a structure, right? This was the structure most people lived by. Like, the man goes make the money, female stays home, take care of the kids. But now everybody wants to be outside, everybody wants to live their life. Nobody want to live one way, which is very understandable. So, in my experience growing up, most of the women I saw stood home, took care of the kids, took care of the home, and, you know, hung out with their friends from time to time, and the man went and made his money however he did, whether he was in the streets or whether he had a job. So that was some of my experience. So I agree with it, you know, the traditional roles, but of course times have changed.
Yeah, times have changed, and of course, like I said, we could bend, but I still feel like that structure still should be there.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, and even if you're in a same-sex marriage or even a relationship, it still should be some type of structure there. So that's what I mean by that. So the way I looked at my parents and the way my father held down the home and the way my mother took care of 4, sometimes 5 children in the house, like I feel like that's what I feel like that's me. Like I'm the cooker. No, I'm the one that's gonna make sure you have food in the microwave when you come home from work. I'm the one that's gonna make sure, you know, I'm running your bath and doing whatever else I got to do and making sure you are mentally equipped to go back into the world. So I feel like for me seeing that, that's definitely how I go about my relationships.
So what are some of your fond memories growing up?
Some of my fond memories growing up happened right here in this apartment. I feel like my mom, like we were like the house in the building that like everyone came to, you know. So it was just kind of like, just me and my friends just growing up and just playing, us making up games. Like we used to, my sister would throw freaking water and soap on the floor, and we would just be sliding in our underwear. Like we'll just be doing dumb shit. Or like before here, like it was old school towel. It was like yellow, red, black, and white, and brown. So it was kind of a thing like, you know, the lava game, and it just worked perfectly because we had a red towel. So right. I think the way I grew up, it was very. And I hate it because I hate to see that the kids of today, they're being robbed of that because of social media and TikTok and the things that they see on Instagram. I feel like they want to grow up too fast. But I was really a kid. And I think that was a fond memory because I feel like life kind of came on. So I'm happy that I got a chance to actually be a kid and have siblings to grow up with and have friends that I could go to their house or vice versa. And my mom just cooked for us, and we used to bake freaking cookies. We used to make paper dolls. Like, we used to just do so much. And I miss that community, not only within the building, but on the block. I feel like I miss that community because I could walk down the street and I don't see no kids outside. I don't see no one doing barbecues. I don't see hopscotch or jump rope. So that thing just one of my fonder memories, just being a kid, honestly.
So, being that you are a first-generation American with Jamaican parents, how has that changed your perspective on life and culture?
First of all, I hate that I wasn't born in Jamaica. Like, I'm the only one of my mother's kids that was born in America. And my parents came up here well into their adulthood. My mother was 28. My dad was, I think, 34. 36, in between 34 and 36, because he used to frequent here before he came up here permanently, but they were well into their adulthood. And when I came into the picture, I feel like I got the best of both worlds, because at home I got my Jamaican heritage, I got my Jamaican culture. I was eating ackee and sawfish, I was eating liver, I was eating curry, I was eating soup in the summertime. But then when I went outside in the outside world, I got to be, you know, still be Jamaican, but basically I got to see what being American was like, right. Especially growing up in a predominantly black neighborhood. So I like to say, like, I got the best of both worlds, and it shaped me because I feel like the values and the structure of being Jamaican that my father instilled on me: hard work, make sure you clean. My mother told me to make sure I don't go outside with dirty panties, make sure that, you know, you clean up. I feel like that Jamaican upbringing was very firm, and I don't want to say strict because I feel like my parents wasn't strict, but they were very firm. And I feel like that helped me going out into the world because I wasn't just doing anything. I wasn't just like, you know, I'll see some of my friends do stuff and I'm like, oh, you could do that? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some of my American counterparts were a little bit more just free, you know? And I feel like that, I'm even looking back now, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that, you know, my father just instilled certain things and my mom just instilled certain things about just like cleaning. I'll go into some people's house and it's dirty, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, it's just certain things like that. Like, I feel like those type of things, and not even say dirty, but I feel like it wasn't tidy, and my father and my mom made sure like we were the ones cleaning. We were the ones that had to clean up after ourselves and tidy up, because we couldn't, we just couldn't live slack like that, as my father would say, so I feel like I just got the best of both worlds, and it helped me just be a little bit more tidy in my life.
Right.
So I definitely big up to AC, because both my parents' names is A and their last name is C, so TCAC. So big up to AC, for real.
Very nice, very nice. So I know you frequent Jamaica a lot, because that's where you're from, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But what are some of the other places you've been, and why you chose those places?
Well, some of the other places I've been to London, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Costa Rica, I've been to France, Italy, I've been to Nicaragua, I've been to Bahamas. I feel like I'm well versed in traveling. Yeah, I'm well traveled. I still haven't been to like Africa. I didn't hit Asia yet, so those are places that I would love to definitely visit in the future. But yeah, those are some places I've visited. One of the places that kind of surprised me was Sweden.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about Sweden. Like, how was that?
Sweden was lovely. I have a cousin that lived there, and he's from London, but he moved to Sweden. And I went to visit them last summer, and it was amazing. Just like their structure, it was super clean. It was literally a melting pot. Like, you've seen Africans, you've seen Caribbean people, you've seen people there from all over Europe, India. It was just such a melting pot, and it just felt so calm. Like, walking through and even taking the train, everything was so pristine, was so clean. And one thing that I learned about in his city in particular, I don't remember if it's Sweden as a whole, but he lived in Gothenburg, and I know that the way that they do it is they kind of set like young adults up for success. Like, no, not to say it like that, but I hope I'm explaining this right, but kind of no one there is really poor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see homelessness.
Like
yeah, it's really a good place to live. Like, a good place to live. Like, a lot of young couples, like, they really get like a good head start in life, because they'll help you like get an apartment or owning something, and they'll kind of like help you fund. If you save a certain amount or whatever, like, they'll kind of help you along the way. And I feel like that's very important, and it just kind of made me see like how different it was, and how like they just helped their society flourish. So that was something that I kind of was really intrigued, that intrigued me, and I really liked. But other than that, like, Sweden had great food. They have this thing like a pizza where it's kind of like a gyro but on a pizza. It was so good. It was so good. And they were like so excited for me to try. Me being from New York and like hearing pizza, I'm like, oh, whatever. But it actually blew my mind. Like, another place that I really, really loved was Italy, because of the food. The food there. Oh, in Spain, I've been to Spain. Like, we could kind of interconnect them, because just the way the freshness of everything is. When I ate pasta, I didn't feel bloated. And I just, you just feel like you could just frolic over there. Like, it was like, Europe is different. You know how they say like European summers? Like, I've got to experience that like twice, and it was dope. It was dope. London was dope too. London is just definitely like New York. Have family there as well that I visited before Sweden. So that was dope. But some of my other travels, Costa Rica, I really enjoyed Costa Rica. Costa Rica was so fun. I don't know if it was like the group I went with, or if it was just the place, but it's beautiful. It's super cheap. Like, it was like 6 of us. We got literally like appetizers, liquor, we got drinks, and our main course. Everything came up to $120 USD. It was 6 of us.
Oh, wow.
So the food there was super cheap. It was super fresh. And it kind of just give you the perspective on like, we're getting robbed in America. Yeah. We are getting robbed of so much. Absolutely. And now that I'm older, I kind of see why a lot of people move to Kenya, move to Thailand, move to all these different places, because it's like the quality of life here is so different. Yes, we have amazing opportunities in America, is amazing, but going over there and just seeing the quality of life, like for us, it's like, okay, when you go down south, you get a better quality life for your kids, but going out the country and just seeing overall like how their systems is different, it's just like healthcare is free, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like totally different, and it just put a lot in perspective for me, honestly. But those are some of the places that were my favorite, and those were the reasons why.
Nice. All right, you are a businesswoman, entrepreneur now, but you did attend college at one point, but you didn't finish your degree. How did that journey change you and help you evolve mentally?
Ooh, that's a great one. So the way that my education helped shape me and helped me evolve mentally was I realized in college, the 4 years that I did attend, that no one is here to save you. And I feel like that helped me throughout every aspect of my life. You know, I went away to school. I was there by myself. I had to do my own laundry. I had to cook my own meals. And even while in classes, I feel like, you know, there's no one there that's going to baby you. And that changed me because my mom spoiled me. My mom used to cut up my dumplings since I was 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, during my educational journey, I just learned that in life, you really have to take it serious. And you really have to do what you got to do to get ahead. Because, like, I'm in different structure from high school, right? I'm in a college class where there's so many different people from so many different backgrounds who is smarter than you. One got tasting skills a little bit better than you. And me, I was on the National Honor Society in high school. So I came to college thinking, okay, I got this. But then it's like, no, if you don't turn in your paper, there's no extra credit. You're done. Like, you got a 0. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no second chances. And, well, sometimes, because everybody wasn't so strict. But I just learned that no one is going to save you, and you really got to get serious about life. And that little popularity that you thought you had, like, there's such a bigger world, you know? So it shaped me mentally by, like, helping me become a little bit more disciplined and tamed. And even me still, like, I'm a person that work well under pressure, and I got that in college, like, because I was also doing like a lot of extracurricular things. Like, I was on like a party promotion team. I was on the step team. Right. So I was very much involved in a social life. But when it came to my schoolwork, I could have a lesson plan due in 3 days, and I'm doing that lesson plan, and I'm getting at least a B+. You know, so it's like I had to just learn to just work quick on my feet and work well under pressure. And also I learned that, like I said, no one is going to save you. You really have to, like, put in that work and that grit, because once you get to a certain age in life, or when you get to a certain part or phase in your life, you really have to dig yourself out. Like, you really have to pull yourself up, you know, and sometimes there's going to be no help.
And that's the real world for you.
That's the real world. I feel like it taught me about the real world. Yeah.
Do you suffer from imposter syndrome?
Do I suffer from imposter syndrome? I do at times. I do. And it's a lot of reasons why. I feel like family dynamic, for sure. I feel like I'm the youngest of 4 or 5, depending on what parent you ask. And depending on what parent you ask, right? So either way, I'm the youngest. And I feel like being the youngest, sometimes I didn't have a voice. So I feel like that just made me hyper independent, or I always want to prove something, or I feel like I have to be this because, you know, I feel like I had people, you know, ahead of me that kind of got what they want, or, you know, whatever the dynamic was, and it was different dynamics. So I feel like that kind of just made me like super independent and hyper independent, and I feel like I made that kind of like my personality, right? And at the same time of doing that, there's some things that I feel like, there's sometimes where I feel like it's just not enough. Like, I had a long running hair show that people still talk about to this day, a networking event called Strange Fruit, that's my second baby, but you know, people still think about this today. And sometimes the only thing I could think about was, a lot of people don't know about this, or this could have been bigger. And the crazy thing is, like, as the years went on, it got bigger and better. And this is something that is special to so many people. But to me, I don't think it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And it's so weird because it's like, girl, that was something that you did that people would look forward to, and it was something great to a lot of people. It may not seem as big to you, but to some other people, they don't know anybody else who was doing a hair show / networking event. They don't know anybody that was bringing people together, you know. So it's like I have to kind of come out of myself of thinking like, girl, you small, you know, but it's like you're really not small, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I have to kind of pray about it sometimes, or just look at like the things I've done, or even like my old journals, and I have a lot of journals, and I'm like, dang, Tamika, remember when this was just pen on paper,
right?
And you brought it to fruition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like those are the times where I got to get into myself. And even there's just so many ideas I have as a Gemini. I just like, I'm all over the place sometimes, and I just want to do a lot of things. Like I want to do a clothing line in the name of my brother. I want to have a cookbook. I want to do so much because I feel like all of these things are like a part of my personality, and sometimes I feel like, Tamika, sit down, you do too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That,
but it's like
you overwhelm yourself.
I overwhelm myself with ideas, and it's like to the point where like I start something, I don't finish it. You know what I'm saying? There was like, you know, so it's like because like I come into my head where it's like, girl, like you're not good enough, or you don't have what it takes, or you don't have enough to do this. And it's like I'm a constant reminder of those things. So it's kind of like, girl, you started TC Hair Chronicles for just a flat iron and a broken comb. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, like, and I'm being serious. Like, you know, it's like you've kind of started with nothing, and you kind of 13 years later got this name for yourself.
You did it.
You know, I did it. So it's like I always have to remind myself, like, Tamika, you were once a beginner. And look at you now in this aspect. So what is it to start something else new and be a beginner again? Absolutely. But I think a lot of it is pride too. Not only is it imposter syndrome, it is kind of like ego and pride. Like, I kind of know the steps, but it's like, no, you kind of got to start fresh with everything. You know, just because you feel like you equipped in one genre or in one direction, you're not equipped in this other thing that you want to do. You don't know what a clothing line is. You don't know what this is. You know, but sometimes I surprise myself. Like, I done put on a whole tournament in Marion Square Garden. I put on a whole tournament one year, and it was like, wow, this is dope. Can I do this again? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I make this an annual thing? So it's like you really have to like get out of your head with things, because it's like you can make things happen, you can't make things happen. Absolutely. It's all about your mindset. You know what I'm saying? And your determination. I just have to always put that imposter syndrome down, especially with some of the days I have that I'm not even going to speak on. And it's like, it's something that I've been like, damn, I shouldn't do it, or I can't do it. I don't have what it takes. I don't have the right resources. But then a year later, 7 months later, I see somebody else doing the exact same thing that I want to do. Less. You know, with less. And it's just like, you know, now you see them getting publications, and you see them think just from them starting at zeros, just from them starting in their living room. Right. And it's like, still to this day, even though I feel like I did have my accomplishments and I did do some things that I wanted to do, but there's so many other things that I want to do that I still get in my head about. And I'm just now starting, like, even with my YouTube.
So I was just about to ask you, how do you stay grounded? How do you find that space of, this is what I'm doing, I'm good at it, I'm great at it, I'm going to make it happen. If it don't work, cool, I'm going to move on. You know, explore one of my other ideas. Like, how do you stay grounded enough to, you know, not, I guess, go crazy?
Prayer. That's big for me. Prayer is, like, so big for me. Like, in journaling and writing, that's something that I could kind of, when my head just feels overwhelmed with thoughts or too full, I got to get it out. I gotta get it out. So either I'm writing it out, or I'm praying, or I'm asking a friend to pray for me. You know, Shannon, we did one interview together. Yes. She's a real good prayer warrior. She's really deep in her faith, so I often ask her to pray for me, because, you know, too, everybody can pray for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like everybody can't pray for me, but Shannon is one person that I could be in my tears, or when I feel like I'm calling her and I be like, girl, pray for me. Even if it's something that I don't even want to disclose, I send a text like, girl, just pray for me, and she'll send me a prayer text. And I, you know, so it's like I'm just deeply rooted in prayer and also support. I feel like that has helped me along my way, or when I'm feeling not so great, having the friends that I have, or having just the family that I have. You know, I feel like they really do pour into me, and that's a big, great help. But prayer is on the top of my list. I pray for any and everything, and you know, prayer does take you so far, and it takes me so long. But like when I just feel like I can't do something, or when I feel like I'm too overwhelmed, or when I feel like I just need to ground myself in my spirit, I pray.
All right, so your last strange fruit was 3 years ago. You have your oils that you drop, and you also, of course, have TC Hair Chronicles. Give me 3 goals that you have for 2026 and even beyond.
Oh, that's a good one. Well, speaking of oils, one of my goals is to relaunch my nourishing oils. I feel like I had a great thing going. You know, it worked. It grew people here. It's a great thing. To this day, I don't think I stocked up like in months, maybe since last year, and people still asking. Some research. I definitely want to rebrand. I want to do a whole new logo, a whole new wrapping. So I want to just do a little bit more of my oils and just, you know, amplify that. So that's one thing for sure, my relaunch. I do want to do strange fruit one more time. I have so many ideas that I feel like grief kind of let me put on the back burner, but I definitely want to come back with one more big bang. And lastly, the last goal I have for 2026 and beyond is just to be a better professional. I feel like and shout out to my clients too, because I feel like you guys have given me so much grace, and you guys have seen me through a lot. But I feel like I'm ready to get back into that, being more professional, like stop being late, just doing more with my business. So I definitely want to be a better professional. I feel like there's room to grow there for sure. So those are my 3 goals.
Sounds good. So normally at the, you know, when you have a guest at the end of the episode, you ask your guest for advice, or you ask your guest to give advice. So now it's your turn. What advice would you give to the people that's watching you or tuned in?
I would say fuck the rules. Fuck the rules. Excuse my language, but I would say fuck the rules and just do whatever it is that you want to do, because we only have one life to live. And if you keep wanting to do something but not actually doing the thing that you want to do, you will never be fulfilled. Waiting for someone else to help you with the thing that you want to do, or help you with your vision, whether it's being a mom, having a different career, making a money move, whatever, launching a business, whatever it is that you want to do, just say fuck the rules and do what you got to do, because everybody out here doing what the hell they got to do. So yeah, that's Absolutely. What I get. Fuck the rules.